And at what point is it right to love again?
Okay, so I'll start with the last question.
Yeah.
So it will be right for you to love again when you have gone through the healing process.
There's a healing process.
Yes, there is a healing process. You know, when you have gone through brokenness, you need to be mended. Anytime we see something is broken, let's say you have a very precious item and you realize that there's a little hitch, you want to look at ways through which you can mend it. So when we are broken, definitely when breakups happen, when our relationships go through a lot of strain and stress and we are broken, let us remember that we don't have to leave ourselves at the broken state. We need to be mended. You can only move on when you can tell that I have really gone through the healing process and I feel I'm healed and I can love again. You know, but the very first thing you should realize when you have gone through a heartbreak is the fact that you need to appreciate the fact that I am in this particular state. You need to appreciate your emotions. Some people deny the fact that they are heartbroken.
How?
Some would now want to be out there. They want to replace their broken emotion with a lot of fun. They want to be out there, going out, involving themselves in church programs, just trying to cover up. So when you don't accept the fact that I'm in a broken state, I have gone through, some kind of brokenness, something has happened to me, I'm not my usual self. You need to appreciate that so that now you can begin to take the steps into, that will help to mend the situations. And then secondly, allow yourself to mourn the loss. Sometimes it's more or less like you losing something precious, the relationship you had, what you shared with the other person is like something precious you used to have. So it's more or less like you losing something precious, and you need to allow yourself to mourn the loss.
Wow.
For some people, have to be with crying. For some people, they might have to go and sit at a solitary place and then reflect on all that has happened. Some might have to write down everything that happened and rip the paper into pieces. So whichever way you can mourn what has happened, allow yourself to go through the mourning process. You need to also, more or less, it's very important to try and cut some form of connection with your, let me say ex in quotes, the one, you had the relation with and probably the heartbreak came. You need to, as much as possible, try and reduce to the barest minimum. And if it was that intense, sometimes you need to cut communication completely, not calling. After you've gone through the healing process, probably you could be friends again. I'm not saying you should make an enemy out of your ex. You might need him or her sometime. You don't know. But, as part of the healing process, cut connections.